What is up, universe? Welcome back to the Den, episode 2, Stride Esports podcast. We have the entire squad here. We have myself, we have the man of the hour, Shattuck, Mutace, Dark Wizzy, and Esam.
You guys
What's up,
also the man
guys?
of the hour.
What?
Never mind.
How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today?
What's up?
I'm doing good.
We're doing good.
Fantastic. I had a good day today.
I'm glad we're all matching except for one of us. That's fine.
I didn't do my laundry yet. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We all have hair. You don't. It's all
Exactly.
It's all balanced. Ball one can't dress up. He also has no.
I literally woke up and did my laundry. Like I'm not rested at all.
I
Yeah.
just landed in New Jersey. I had a plane to catch, and then we got delayed because, of course, we did.
It had to do with Cameron. That's why.
Really.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to Cameron's house, and the plane was like, Cameron. Something
Exactly. Cameron has been horrible luck for all airport, all flight stuff lately.
Cameron's great guy. Do not travel with him. Apparently, that's what we learned. But we are here to talk about Cirque du CFL 3. Thoughts on the event? Let's start with Esam. You live there. You're from CFL. So
Yeah.
how does this compare to your normal Boardwalk Weekly?
Well, it's in the same room. Obviously, it doesn't have like the fancy schmancy stuff, but it was interesting because sometimes you have like a similar vibe, but it's like a bigger deal, but you're still able to like play kind of as if it's not as big of a deal, which sometimes is good and sometimes is bad. For me this weekend, it was good. It was louder. Crowd was on my side instead of me still being like kind of the CFL invader when it's like I play Sean or Paul. But it was really good to me.
Right. Yeah, that's similar to me with Vegas. We have the HyperX Arena, and we have our locals there. And then when we have regionals or bigger events there, it just feels like another Friday for us. So, getting your thoughts on that is definitely important. How about Mutace? This is your second circ that you went to, if I'm not mistaken. How did it compare to the other one?
It just felt like the same thing. Obviously, I did a lot better. So yeah, but it felt pretty much the same to me. I already knew how they had the same exact structure with the pre-local and then into the invitational, into the actual event. I do like that it was 2 days instead of 1 day. Like last time was 1 day, so
Right. I'm pretty sure the
Really?
previous two were both 1 day events.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I like 2 day events. Obviously, I feel like we don't have enough 2 day events in the Smash scene. So having a 2 day event that was also a major, pretty cool.
If it was
low-key-
1 day, I would have got destroyed. So
2 day is low key. I feel like it could be better than 3 day.
Definitely.
Low-key.
It's like having to play really well 3 days in a row. Granted, sometimes your day one at a big major, it's like you're playing doubles and one round of pools or just doubles, and that might be the best you play for the weekend, and you wasted it on nothing. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
According to my notes, Wizzy wasn't at this tournament. So let's just go to Shattuck. Shattuck, how did you feel about the vibe in the tournament itself?
Nope.
It was pretty fun. It's like my third time in Florida or something, and so I met like a lot of new people. And actually, see, like Florida has like a big like they're notorious for being really loud and everything like that. And obviously, I experienced that like literally, nothing as a tournament. But like every time I was there, I was just like really exhausted. And every time everybody was just screaming, and I'm just like, man, can I just like, play and it'll be normal? But it was like fine overall. I had a good time. I also like went to like watch a movie, and it was fun. So yeah, I had a pretty good time overall.
Cool.
Was the crowd heckling you when you fought Sabai?
No, there's actually like no crowd for that set. I was off stream, by the way. I was like off stream until it played me.
We
So
take
that
that.
might have been beneficial, to be honest.
I really okay. I didn't know. It was like
I don't know
that.
how you deal with crowds, but CFL, when there's another CFL person, I mean, we've heard like round one of losers, they're just screaming. And it's like, okay, guys, like, what's
I have
going
my
on?
headphones on, my AirPods, I have everything, so I'm usually pretty good. But yeah.
Headphones and AirPods. He doesn't want to hear anything besides what he wants to hear. So let's jump right into, Stride taking our first major, having the 1-2 finish. Shattuck and Mutace, let's get your individual thoughts on the weekend. Let's start with Mutace.
I don't know. It was super weird. Like, why am I reverse 3-0ing people that many times? That's a little bit strange, right?
You had 3?
Stressful.
No, I did it to Odyssey, the Diddy, and then I did it to Omega, and then I did it to Shuton, and I did it to
And
Syrup
damn. And to Buzz.
Also
and
4.
the Buzz.
And
That's
jeez,
That's crazy.
that's stressful.
Yeah,
So
I don't know.
Well, I kind of want you to like take us through your thought process of like some of those being down 0-2, specifically like to Shuton and DeBuzz, because I know those are two players that you always had a hard time with because they are, incredible players. So how do you, as someone who, if I'm not mistaken, has a negative record against both of those players, how do you just decide being down 0-2, you're like, you just dig deep and bring it out? Like, how does that happen for you?
Um, well, typically how all my sets with Shuton go, like when I was talking about it, is it always feels like his timing or like his speed is like his natural speed just beats mine.
Mhm.
And then like I'll lose 2 games, like every single set I've lost, I'll lose 2 games, and then I'll start fighting back on game 3, and I'll probably bring it to game 4, and sometimes game 5 I've done that. And then game 5 I'll like lose, and it's like kind of competitive, but that's like it. But this time, like I really practiced with Cola, and I was like, okay, let's see if I can like try and match this like Mithra speed like before the match actually starts. Because if I can start like on a little bit of even footing, like I'll probably do fine. And then it didn't work, and I was like, okay. But it wasn't working in a way that was like, it was like a little more fixable. So then I was like, okay, well, I mean, I usually start down 0-2 in these sets with Shuton anyways, so let's just see what I can do because I usually bring it game 5 anyways or 4. And I had labbed a lot of stuff against Mithra, so like I was just like, okay, let's just clean this up a little bit. Because a lot of the times, like the game 1 was super competitive, and I was like leading for some of it, and I just kept like I don't know dropping leads and stuff like that. I was like, okay, well if I just tighten up here, here, and here, it'll be fine. And it was, I guess. And that's the same type of thing that happened with like the buzz. Like there's just something like I was trying to outplay. I kept messing up. It's not like I was doing the wrong thing per se. I was just like not doing it correctly.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, let's just focus on doing this correctly. And then I did that, and it was just mostly the adjustment I needed. That's pretty much it. It wasn't even too complex, really.
Okay. Yeah, because like those things seemingly feel like so insurmountable to so many players, and they don't really understand. Like when you're fighting someone like Shuton or DeBuzz, and you're down 0-2, like you're probably going into the set, not you necessarily, but in general, like okay, you're fighting this super high echelon player. It's really difficult. They're really good. You've heard about them for the past 10 years of Smash. You go down 0-2, and it seems just so impossible, but you somehow this past weekend made a lot of the impossible seem very possible. And I really appreciated that look that you gave me after you beat the buzz. We were kind of just like, whatever. Like, anyway, moving on. Like, on to the next one.
I wish beating
Uh,
the buzz was simple.
all you have to do is go down 0-2, apparently. That's just the
I've
strat.
done that so
No,
many times.
you don't understand, Jesse. I just got so mad. I just got so, like literally like okay, so I beat DeBuzz, or like I lost to DeBuzz at Miami, right?
Mhm.
I think it was Miami. But he went Min Min. I beat his Min Min because he was like usually beating me with Min Min, but I'd practiced it. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, I know what to do next time. I'm gonna go Min Min on you. It's gonna work." I was like, "Oh okay." And then he did that. And he went Min Min, and I was like, but what was the difference though? Like, and like, did you see the part? Like, there's a part in the match where like I down air him out of the air. He falls out of my move and instantly double jump down airs like a Steve player, and I like dodge it and punch him. I'm like, what do you think this is? And I was just so like, okay, that's how we're doing it. And then he nair dodged into the ground and immediately down tilted. I was like, yeah, you're really different right now.
Yeah, no, you definitely,
That's the
I could
worst
see the
thing.
anger and I appreciate it. Uh, but yeah, after conquering the buzz, the next person was Shattuck. So Shattuck, what were your thoughts on
Yeah.
the week as a whole?
Can I talk about like my limitational bracket as well, or just like Cirque? Or
Both. I mean, you had a longer weekend than most of us.
okay,
So you
yeah,
can
that's pretty
your
huge.
entire weekend. Go through it.
Okay, so I got to
He just beat so
Invitational.
many people.
Yeah, and then I immediately like played the buzz. And I'm just like, okay. Fun fact: right before I played my first like match in the round robin, I was playing like Lima, I was playing like this other person, and I was just like, man, I'm playing like really not how I would like to play at all. And so I went to my first match. I was like, okay, well, I'm here for a reason, so I need to like play good anyways, or like try my best anyways, even though I don't really like how I'm playing. And I played the buzz, I'm playing like just fine. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm just really weird. And I play like one way in this set, one way in this set. I'm like, okay. Um, and then I beat the buzz like in a really close game 5. And then I ended up playing like Shuton like, immediately after. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're like, it's like this, huh? And then I'm playing Shuton and I lose like game one. And it's like, I was like winning, I think, most of it. And I died like Pyra, Downer, up smash. And I'm just like, okay, I died, I get 70.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the games, like, they're like really convincing my favor. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of, I'm really confident against Aegis overall. So I was like, I'm pretty sure I just win this. I knew he'd go Aegis too because he's like really positive against Neo, I'm pretty sure. And they have really close sets usually.
Right.
And like I made like the advantage state like super easy because I just like know how to check Mithra and like I know how to like disadvantage state them really simple. And I played really contested overall too. And I played game and I just like won. I think I lost a game, but it was like okay.
So
and then
were those all your wins at the Invitational itself?
I also beat Beast Paul and Cola,
Okay.
and that's it. Like after those,
You like
So-
almost beat me in light, right?
yeah, almost beat me in light, so which would have been really good, but like they were like really two close sets. And so yeah, against Light and Mia, like I kind of threw against both of them. I think the games are against Mia, game 5, I was up, and then I got put at ledge like a few times, and then I just didn't know how to get off, and I get edge guarded, and I get hit by up B, and
Game and Watch.
Oh, let's not even talk about his Mia Sword Fighter that everybody was holding to.
We don't have to.
And like I was like adapting on the fly. I watched him play against his core player in friendlies, and if I didn't see that, those like 2 seconds of gameplay, I would have gotten like so caught off guard by like every side B of all time.
It's a
And
good side B.
it's a good side, and the down B I didn't even know it existed. And so I did explode game 1 at the end, and then I adapt and I beat the sword fighter, and then he plays Game and Watch, and I like lost like by 2 stocks, and then game 5 I'm like it's a lot better. But he like barely beats me because I like I get edge guarded. And then Cirque, I don't know, like
Well, before we get
Okay.
into
yeah,
we're
yeah,
in-
yeah,
you know, the Mia Sword Fighter was
Oh.
real for a lot of people, but not real for you.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I guess.
can you walk us through the travel that you experienced to get the Invitational?
Oh my
Because
god.
after hearing this story, I was shocked that you were able to compose yourself to play that well and beat that many players. Like,
Not just immediately take a nap.
yeah, like that was so. Walk us through what happened when you got
He's
to
a
Orlando?
kid.
We had a great Uber. That's all. I can know.
Yeah, Whitney, if you want to chime in too, you can. You know,
I think everything about my flights were fine. I think Wizzy's and Cameron's were bad. But anyways, we ended up at the Miami or Orlando airport at the same time, and then we decided to Uber together. And I like took like we were Ubering, and we're like, okay, we go to the Airbnb, and we're like, oh wait, that's an hour away. How did that happen? And which means it translates to like $1 million. And then we get our Uber. Immediately, we all sit down, and then it's like this like elderly man that speaks Spanish, and Cameron and Wizzy don't know any Spanish, and I'm Hispanic.
I know a smidge.
as someone
I
who
like
went to Mexico with Wizzy and had to make sure he didn't die,
Okay, that was like 4 years ago. My Spanish is better than then. That was 5 years ago.
you know how to say more than
You're-
just hello, water, and
No.
bathroom now.
I cannot
Okay,
say
hola agua and bathroom, however you say it. I forgot.
Oh.
But, like, that was like, it was good enough.
Anyway.
no. Okay, so
You're not by Duolingo,
Oh my
obviously.
so this guy starts speaking Spanish, and I'm like, oh, I guess I have to do something here. And essentially, like the service in that part of Florida, kind of in all of Florida, it seems
It's
'cause our
really
service
bad.
center was
It's
really bad.
terrible.
So the guy's app wasn't working, and so he was showing us his phone, and I think he said something about canceling like the app on our or canceling the ride on our app, and then like paying him. And I asked him, ¿Cómo podemos pagarlo? And like he never answered me, and so we just like sit there for 10 minutes in the car trying to like find a way to get to the venue and get the address, and we just like go essentially. And the guy starts like trying to talk to me, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like I do not like I speak it, but not like that. And then he's like, está bien. And then we get there and we get out, and we're like, I asked again, and he's like, just cash. We just said like one word in English, cash. And I was like, okay.
Good word to know.
And
Gotta know one word.
yeah. And then nobody's carrying cash. I thought I was carrying cash, but I guess I wasn't. And then like Cameron's like the only person that like can like do it, so like he pays. But yeah,
I
it
like
was
carrying
the
cash.
hardest thing for like all of us. And then y'all still had to Uber to the hotel because y'all weren't able to stay at the Invitational itself. which is
And
kind
that
of
was
rough.
another 49 minutes, by the way.
Wizzy had a great travel day. Had a really
Yeah, I had
good
I had
day.
I had a
Right.
splendid Friday. I wish I could do it again.
Like the guy, like yeah,
But yeah, and then also like in the Uber, like we since he like didn't have reception on the Uber app, we had to take his phone. He gave us his phone, and then we had to go to the Google Maps app and type in the address there.
Navigate it? Jeez.
And
Hey,
then,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
We asked him at least 3 or 4 times during the ride. We were like, like to pay. We were like Venmo, Cash App,
Venmo,
PayPal.
PayPal,
Like he
like
just would
Cameron
not
really
respond.
showed him like a Google Translate of like the question. I don't know what he said. Like I don't.
And he just didn't give. I think it was like
he was-
Venmo didn't work or something.
I don't know.
Was he said
would start
Venmo,
talking,
Cash
answer
App,
questions, and
PayPal?
at the beginning, I didn't know what he was saying. And then,
Bathroom.
but
All right, so let's move on to
live.
your Cirque experience.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So Limitational was good. Uber
The second
was,
major.
something. Part 2 of your long weekend. How did your Saturday start off for you?
So I do doubles with Wizzy, and
no.
oh my god! Oh,
I can't, but I'm
only
still
saw
mad
one
about it.
moment.
I'm still mad about it.
We're just giving Wizzy PTSD for the entire weekend.
So this is our first time teaming, and we're like, okay, Mario Corrin, that sounds like a pretty good team. If we like, we thought about we theory crafted some stuff. We didn't put it all together, but like for our first time teaming, we played pretty well. And so we won our first 2 matches, I think, and like pretty clean overall. And we played Mia and Ashimo, and I think we're like seeded 9th or something.
Yeah,
And
we dropped like seeds by like 4 spots or something. We were seeded for 5th,
Yeah.
and then we dropped to like 9th or something.
And then we're playing them who are first seed and winners quarters, and we're like, okay, sure. And then we play game 1, and it's like fine. Actually, I kill Ashimo for last stock. I kick off the stage. Mia goes after me, and to defend myself, I try to do double jump up air. I do double jump back air instead, which means I die because Mia fights Wizzy to get him off of me to not save me. And then Wizzy has like the closest last hit thing ever. He's like playing really good. He played really good.
Dude,
I
in the end,
remember
like,
that.
he did not
We,
care.
we were at like last
Um,
stocks, like both above 150.
Mhm.
Yeah,
for a
it was
minute, dude.
for like
really
so
stressful.
long. And then game 2, we 2v1 Mia, and then Wizzy just does like the worst dash attack of all
It was,
time.
I was like, I didn't think like, why was he ready for that? Like, I just
He
didn't
was just
think
charging
like,
up smash.
you
and
were
then
right
he
next to
had
him.
80.
Yeah, you were right next to him. So I thought like, okay, he's releasing this for Shattuck, right? Bro, I dashed from
Yeah.
the right side of the stage and dash attack, and he was still going,
Yeah.
and I exploded.
He's the
I was
best.
my reaction, like I hit it, I literally gasped. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I didn't think he was. I was like, I didn't know he was waiting for me. Like Shattuck was right next to him. I was like, why did he ignore him? And I was like, oh my god.
He knew who the real threat was.
And then I
He's
have a
the
last
GOAT.
hit- I have a
I was
last
like,
hit with him, and I barely lose. Like also to getting edge guarded, but important, I got edge guarded. I want to talk about my set with him later. But anyway, so we lose to them, and we wait like 30 minutes to play Hibna and Low Yoshi.
I'm so
Um,
sorry.
You don't
And
have to do that if you don't want to. Like,
like,
it just wasn't it.
who lost to Temptation and Beast fell apart? Like,
Hey,
okay,
Thankfully they did, because otherwise we would have had to play that team. So
you know,
I'm
that's fine.
down.
It's
Look,
just, it's just
Hero
so
Bounce
crazy.
is
Like
crazy.
we were one interaction from in both games against me and Ishimo from just winning.
So more
was just
story,
like-
like me and Wizzy are like pretty good. Like for a first time teaming, and Loki, we should have won. the
No,
thing,
definitely
like,
not bad.
Y'all gonna talk about the forward air?
enjoyed
That's
it.
crazy.
We genuinely enjoyed
like,
it.
Yeah.
Okay, that 40, no, that forwarder, I thought Shattuck's upbeat, like, you know that the weird hit stun that Corn's upbeat does when it just sends him straight
Mhm.
up? Yeah, I thought it was doing that hit stun, so I went for jump forwarder, and I had no idea Shattuck was. It was my fault in the end. Like, I just had no clue that Shattuck was going to jump from the ledge.
He just,
But I wanted to combo his like weird upbeat
Like the
stun with
hits
my
of it.
forwarder.
Got
But
it.
yeah, but it didn't do that, and then Shattuck jumped. And bro, I have never seen Mars forwarder kill so quick in my life.
It was
Like,
He was at like 55. He exploded.
he was at like 70 because he wasn't ready for it, so he DI'd straight out. I was like, what? What just happened? What just happened? I was like, just forward. It
Just as a quick editor's note,
Crazy.
E7 I got 4th in doubles. Continue.
yeah.
Congratulations.
I'm just saying because this episode is obviously not about us, and I just gotta make sure that people know that we did something.
But
That I did something.
y'all did pretty good. But overall,
I walked over when y'all were playing, and I was like, "Oh, they're doing well." And then suddenly the forwarder happened. I was like, "Oh, never mind." I just
And
walked away.
down. Like,
yeah. But overall, like for our first time teaming, we genuinely thought that we were playing pretty well. Like we were understanding the team combos that the characters should do as it went on. Like I literally told Jack from the start, I was like, like even if we don't win, I'm mostly just trying to see what we're supposed to do because I've never teamed with this character. Shad's never teamed with this character, so I was like, we're just gonna figure stuff out. Like
That
literally
was
just from
that
set
was
one.
like your headspace for the weekend until singles happened. So Shattuck, how did your singles back?
Yeah,
So I had like my singles pool like in the second wave, so I had like an hour break, and I was kind of like I took my picture for the team, and I came back and I played like 2 friendlies somehow.
Shout out to Rodman.
Yeah, shout out to Ramen Go.
He did
I
quick
played
work.
my first set, who was a Peach player, and I'm pretty sure like he literally brought up my set into a mute like afterwards, and I was like, yeah, I could like tell because you're kind of doing some like really really weird stuff, and that was my round 1.
Was it Fanica?
It was Danny.
Okay.
And his movement's really good, and like his combos were like kind of they were good too. But like
Each
game
was
one,
your
was, like,
round 1 and your final round. Isn't that poetic?
interesting.
Oh wow.
So I
So I heard you
played
had a really close set with a corn in your pool.
yes. So after that, I keep in mind I was playing kind of mid, but anyways, so I go down 2-0 to this Corrin, and this Corrin literally is like some other 16-year-old Corrin. I think I've heard him before, but I couldn't like pinpoint where I've heard of him from. But I'm playing, and he's like RPSing me, like guessing right every single time, going for a run up grab, going for tomahawk jab, down tilt. Having the best disadvantage state against Corrin like I've ever like seen. Like I'm just like, why are you dodging in these moments? Like you're fighting back in the best moments of all time. I'm like, okay. And then like
Tomahawk
game
jab,
3, I restock him, and then he said doesn't adapt back. And also like a lot of good stuff went right for him. Like and when he was winning, but I just won like game 5, and I was like, okay, well, we move, I guess. And that was it for day 1 because we had 2 matches for day 1.
Yeah,
True.
Which is kind of crazy. And then day 3, I play Guy the Luigi because Zap lost to him. And so I win 3-0. It was like pretty convincing overall. He like messed up a bunch of his like kill combos, but I was like, okay. Like I think game 1 was the craziest because we had like a DBZ moment, and like the ones where like you're not sure who's gonna die first, you know.
Right.
But he ends up dying first, and I was like, okay, cool. And I win that set, and I play Sebai, and I prepared again for Game Watch a lot, and I literally just played Mia and actually Meister. So I was like going really confident, and I put this like Game Watch and friendlies, who I prepared for both of the Game Watches for. And I was really telling him like, oh, you should do this and this because they're gonna do it to me, so you should do that. Which helped me a lot. So I 3-0 Sebai, pretty convincing, and then I play Mia, and I'm like, I'm playing.
Good, you warmed
pretty
up for it.
good. Yeah, and that too. And so like things are looking good for me. And so game 1, I think they're all like all the games are like really close, like all of them. I don't think we destroy each other like in any of them. So game 1 I win, and then game 2 I'm winning, but like once again, bacon, and then I try to like pin the stage, but then I missed barely, and I mash jump, and I get up by 4 there, and I just die like at 100, like I explode on Smashville. And then game 3 and 4 like are like really close, but like still clean gameplay, and I'm adapting to what he's adapting to, and I just win, and that's how I beat Mia. So that was really really
Just
good.
win.
And then,
No big deal. It's fine.
actually no big deal. Like you know,
Just beat
Alright,
like one of the 4
yeah.
horsemen. It's fine.
Okay, like it
Like-
actually was not. Like I watched it, I was like, okay, it's fine. And will happen again. Like it's just,
like actually like I
I'm
was just
sure it
like,
will. I'm sure it will. I've
Corrin
no
not
doubt in my
actually lose to
mind.
Game & Watch.
huh?
What? What did you?
Jesse first. My bad.
No, I just remember 2 weeks ago when Shattuck was like, "Oh, this matchup's impossible."
Yeah,
And
that's
then-
what I wanted to ask.
And then they just like beat
I mean,
Meister.
it's still hard. Like it's really. I mean, I'm sure everyone knows, but like the things I have to.
This is the
do,
team
I'm
to
like,
lose to Game &
Most
Watch.
people are fine, you know.
I don't lose. I don't lose though, but like as impossible is like an exaggeration, of course.
The character
Um,
loses.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it's even, but you know, I think it's even. What's up?
You were
sorry, I can't hear
complaining.
you.
It's the hardest matchup of all time. It's like even. I'm like,
It was 2 weeks
that
ago.
is
and he won.
Corrin's hardest matchup ever. Even
2 weeks.
I'm saying, yeah.
Wait, no.
That's crazy. That is kind of crazy.
What about Fox?
Yeah,
What about
yeah.
Fox and Sheik? Okay,
You
never
said
mind.
it.
You didn't mention
in
them.
the vlog. You were like, it's the hardest matchup of all
That's why
time.
After you beat
Okay,
Mia,
but
I
that's
walked
how
up to you.
Wait,
That's why when I
wait,
walked
no,
up,
no,
to
no.
you, I said, hardest matchup what? Hardest matchup what? You were like, yeah.
Because actually I watched a vlog today, and I swear Shattuck said, I think he said today I went through the hardest matchups ever. Not I don't.
Oh yes, that's what I said.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
you were
the
talking
top
about,
of
you
the
were
week.
talking about like Samus and PT
Yeah, yeah.
and stuff.
Got it. My bad. My bad.
that's what I
shake. My bad.
Okay, whatever. So I beat Mia, and I played the bus in top 8, Um, and that's like someone who I was literally 0-4 against before this weekend, and I beat him the first time in Levitational, and that was like game 5. And then this time I 3-0'd him. Game 1 was we had 2 timeouts in both of these sets, or like for each set, and I like barely like he low key should have won both of them because the first time he ran off stage and upbeat to ledge, but I just kicked him and then he lost. Um,
Mm.
and then the second time he jabs, like you know how like Luma, like he does a ledge trap with Luma in front of him,
Yeah.
and he does a rapid jab to like cover the options. And then I just get up attack Luma, and then I pin him because he keeps holding jab for some reason, and I just run away and I win that game. And then game 2 I win like 50% left. And then game 3 switches to min, and I'm up 3-1, but he brings it close, and then I just like get like the last hit, and you know I 3-0'd him. Like a lot of stuff went well for me, so it made him like look like more convincing than like it was in like actuality.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, it was kind of weird from my perspective watching DeBuzz play that set.
Mhm.
Like especially in the 2 timeout games, he seemingly towards the end, when DeBuzz is aiming to time somebody out, he usually has like a really, really like solid game plan and sticks to it. But against you, it felt like he just decided to do the wrong thing, and then you just capitalized and just like got your 20 to 20, like 30%, and got the lead off of that. And now
Mhm.
Rosa has to chase you down, and that's obviously not a position where she wants to be in. So I feel
Uh-huh.
like there were some like very strange misplays on DeBuzz's side towards the end of those 2 games. Maybe the pressure was on. Maybe he was mad that he lost the
Yeah.
invitational. Who knows?
Who
But
knows?
you
But
capitalized well, and it is what it is.
He definitely
Mhm.
made some very strange choices. I remember, Shaq, I remember we talking about this. So I was like, remember on that way back to the airport, I was just like, yeah, when I was watching, I was like, woo, Shaq. But then I was also like, what is he doing? I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I have literally timed out with the buzz and friendly since I was a child. And I was like, I know that he does not do that in these timeouts. I was like, why? I was like, why did he run off stage, recover low? I was like,
I
bro,
think
your
the kill
recovery.
potential just
I was
scared
like,
him.
but I was like, your
Yeah, but
recovery
like
does not have a
he did the
hitbox.
things
And I
too
was like,
early, you know.
where are
So
you
it's like
going? I was like,
but
and then Untakeable, dude, the pit
Strange, man.
Untakeable him at like 98 or something.
Lamau. And that was like the one time I hit that ever. Like actually, the one time I needed it, that was like the only time I hit.
Yeah, Rose is really easy to Untakeable because she's super light. So
Yeah.
I was just like, what? I don't know. In those kind of moments in tournament, it's way different being the actual person playing because, like, pressure's on. It's super stressful. You might make a bad decision, but like when you're just watching it, obviously it seems a lot worse. I was like, why did he just run on stage? Why did he go low? Why did he be there? You don't have a hitbox in your recovery. But like, in that moment, all his mind is like, run, run, run. Like,
Get there.
So yeah, like run. So I don't
Yeah,
like
definitely strange.
I don't like blame him for messing up. It's a
Yeah.
situation that's a lot. It looks like it's a lot easier to mess up than it actually might look like from the
Mhm.
perspective.
Before we go into the analysis of finals from Shattuck Emuace's perspective, I do want to ask, Esam, are you back?
I'm bald and I'm back.
Are you back? You
I
did pretty
think
well this
so.
weekend.
Yeah,
You played pretty okay, pretty nice.
a little
How
busted.
how did you feel this weekend?
Just a little.
So it felt like, again, having a constant crowd was nice. Obviously had the Stride gang at Genesis, but we were all super spread out, and so like there was never always going to be someone. Whereas here it was either y'all, or if you were dealing with bracket, I had CFL cheering for me, right? So like pools went as seeded, which was unfortunate. I didn't prep enough for Riku, and I was like putting all of my effort into DeBuzz, who if I beat Riku, I would have played.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, I'm either going to get Steved by Riku or I'll do the good things against Steve. So whatever happens, happens. And it happened. So lost that. But my other pool sets were pretty easy. And then I was like, okay, I'm starting in losers. And I realized because of the DeBuzz stuff and like something that's just been happening in general, because like I make a lot of like pre-tournament videos when I'm at an event or when I'm going to an event. So like I see my bracket and I'm like, oh, I'm looking at my path. But like for the past like I guess since I won Glitch after the pandemic, I've kind of been getting psyched out by like losing the round before my bracket gets like super good or like whatever I'm focusing on.
Mhm.
Like the previous Genesis, so like this Genesis, I lose to Base Mage, the person I was pretty comfortable for, but I was scared of Lima. I lost to like at SmashCon Fall Fest a long time ago. I lost to AK before fighting you, who I was looking forward to playing. I lost to Riku before DeBuzz. I lost to Riku at CEO before Yaoda. I lost to who did I lose to at SmashCon in winners? Oh, I lost to Shadow. He just beat me. Honestly, like that was the match I was looking forward to.
Me.
So that one was fine.
Coincidentally, like like recently, so it's like really bad timing for you.
Yeah, because you were doing Shiny Mark stuff. Yeah. But so I was just like, okay, tomorrow I'm not looking at my bracket. Like I had to look at my first round because I needed to know when I was playing, and then there wasn't a schedule on StartGG, so it didn't help. And I was like, Aaron, and I was like, okay, well, I'm very comfortable in that matchup. So I win that. He had a little trash talk, which, you know, people being salty, whatever. I'm not really gonna I don't really get mad at people for doing that. But it amped me up because I was just like, I won very convincingly, and I was just like, oh, you're gonna talk trash? I'm here, let's go. And I just like got really amped about that. And so I then carried it to the rest of my games. I was a little too amped at the beginning of me versus Dominator, you know, CFL versus SFL, but in reverse because I'm used to being the South Florida person. He started up 2-0. And then I was just like, okay, let me just slow down and do the thing I'm supposed to do versus Mario instead of just like trying to just win because I'm ESAM, which is how I played versus a lot of people. Sometimes it works. But so then I just did the Mario thing and like slowed down, parried a bunch of his back airs, got correct punishes, and then I started reading his habits like really hard at the end of game 4 and 5. So I won that, which felt good because Mario is always scary. Like even if you're like winning by a lot, you're like, oh, I might get grabbed at 30. Who knows? But like I DI'd everything right. I, you know, stopped getting hit by smash attacks. Other than like I'm at 130, it's gonna happen. But like not forward smashes. So I win that, which was awesome. And then at some point, like I walk over to like I think it was like Light and Cola and Web JP, and we're just talking. And Web was like, "Oh, like I'm excited to play you in like 30 minutes." And I was just like, "Ooh, I like that matchup." So like again, I'm not actively looking for who I have to play. And then it was like Web have to play, and I was like, "Cool." And Web, of course, amazing player, super talented, has been doing so well recently. But it's a matchup that I've had a game plan for a long time because you know Sheik's combo meta has advanced, but her neutral is the same as it kind of has been for years. So, you know, you forward air, I dash attack. It'll be fine. Like I think Pika wins that matchup for sure. And I basically just eked him out. I got a couple of good reads. I got a couple of clutch stuff. He also clutched up on like a lot of kill confirms that made it like very, very close. Like I was dying at like 70. Like he tippered down tilted me at like 55 and I died because it was PS2 and he had rage and I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, I remember that I was smashing game 5. I was like, oh
yeah,
that was insane.
I was like, he's winning. He's by so much.
He took the stock first both times and I was like, geez. But then I ended up clutching that, and then I feel like this probably wasn't actually what happened, but you know, the TO told me it's like, oh, like you're waiting for a bit. You have to play like the winner of Light and then versus the loser of Shuton and Mutace. And I was like, okay. And then so like in my head, I prepped for like, okay, Mutace and Fox and Shuton's Aegis, because we played a Battle of BC whenever the last Battle of BC I went to is that's the last time we played friendlies. He went Aegis and won like 8-1 or something, like very convincing. So I was like, okay, well,
I'm gonna admit that's crazy.
He's really good. I give credit where credit is due, and Shuton deserves the credit.
Batman would not get that out of me. And
hey, I beat Kome with me brawler there, so I was still feeling good about my play, so it's fine.
Fair enough.
In friendlies, did not win the tournament set.
That's 2022. Was that
yeah.
2022? That's when we're almost done.
Yes. Yes.
I'm being dramatic, but like I had something.
You're being dramatic.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I do remember that.
No, it was actually bad.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I think that was that
one.
One
and only time that's ever happened to me in my life. That was
it was that one. That was one of
yeah, but so I was like, okay, I'm ready for all three of those things. And then he sits down and then like we double blind because I'm like, well, I might go brawler, I might go Pika. He also does play Olimar, so like let me just double blind. And he was like Olimar, and I was just like, no, I haven't played a good Olimar since the pandemic, and I don't beat the buzz very often, so it's not like good. So I was a little thrown off guard there. But I ended up winning game 1. I got like the Leo combo of like the double up air thunder, and it literally killed him at 0.
Yeah.
And then he was just like, hey, I'm really good. And I was like, you're right, my bad, I'm sorry. And so he won 3-1. Like, I don't think there was a lot. Like, there was obviously little things that went that like I could have done better, but it was mostly just like he was right a lot.
Right.
because like I don't think I was being like too aggressive. I would go back in camp and I would try to get like an approach, but then I would also like kill a lot of the Pikmin if it was like worrying me. And then there was just one time where he just was like, I have the momentum and I'm just, I was up so much game 4, and then he two stocked me. Like he was like 2 stock 110, I was like 2 stock 8, and then he won with 2 stock like 130. And I'm like, okay, if you're right, you're right.
He just like did a lot of damage and stuff.
He did the top player thing.
Yep, he indeed did. But yeah, 13th at a major, not bad at all.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can tap into that for the future. Whichever your next event is, I forget which one it is.
Couple rigger, probably.
True.
That is long.
But yeah, so that's
I have
cool.
life things to
Hopefully-
do.
I hope Sam's back. I know we all hope he's back, but
I
the very
think
least,
I am.
I personally enjoyed watching you play good again. That was pretty fun.
I just have to be like annoyingly confident. I have to be.
like I told you. Just
Yeah,
remember, that you're
yeah.
Easton. Like,
Yeah. We had a conversation. You were just like, just remember, you're just like better than people. I'm like, but everyone's so good. And you're just like, no, you're better. And I'm like, you're right, I guess.
Not really. No, I didn't get to watch a lot of your matches, but I heard and I was like, oh, that's like really good. So if you're coming back, then let's go. Sport.
Yeah,
We'll
that's what I'm
beat
saying.
you next time. It's fine.
Sometimes the simplest pep talk is to just tell people just to have a bigger ego. And I'd never thought I'd have to tell Eric that ever in his
That's
life,
what I'm saying.
but I did, and it worked.
It's a scary
So-
thought.
That is right. That is the scary
Hey,
thought.
to be
Right?
fair, my ego wasn't as big as it was before, so now it's just like getting back to normal.
We need to play the Mario Party like inflatable Bowser game. We just gotta
Yeah.
do it with your ego again.
Yo, I be winning that mini game.
Funny
all
enough,
the
you
time.
win when it explodes, but
When the
That's
ego
what-
is
that's
too
the
big,
pop
that's when
off.
he starts winning. That's Eric in a nutshell.
Basically.
So Mutes, I have to ask you a question. You have a certain definition for a certain style of player, and you call players freaks. That is a thing that you do. I see that smirk. Can you tell us what you mean by when you say this person or player is a freak?
Okay, well, let's just begin. Like, if you watch
Let's get an
me
example.
versus Static, it's just not normal. Like, we are freaks. Like,
that
there's
sounds
just no-
crazy.
There's
Are you
just
freaks?
no way. Like, we are sitting there and like there's like 5 different layers on like simple interactions. Like there's like little
Mhm.
things that are happening, but there's like 5 different layers on an interaction sometimes. And it's going at like a very alarming rate. It's disturbing. And like I don't even think like when I fight some other players, like there's like interactions where it's like, okay, they did this move here and that's like what they do. And I just have to do this like counterplay. And like I said, oh, okay, a lot of my reverse 3 is like clean up the mess and it'll probably be fine. Like when I'm playing someone like Shattuck or like another freak that did really well, my opinion of like who did well this event, I think the freaks went crazy because people don't talk about Peeb. I know we're on here, but Peeb went crazy and like Peeb has made a tweet about saying like I want to do it like mute and whatever like that. I'm like, don't do it, it's not worth it. And then like they're succeeding. A lot of people that have been like, oh, I want to like, I like how you do this. I want to do it like that. Like kind of or like take any influence from me. I think it's freaky and it's strange because like the most like freaky thing you can do is just like it's a hyper fixated like counterplay that's just like something that like covers one thing and one thing only, and like it's pretty obvious when you see it.
Right.
When like you see like let's just give an example. Like I don't know, from something I remember it was like Lima beat Shuton at Lifitational, and he's like off stage is Bayo at 160 versus Olimar with a blue pick ban. He just jumps back on the stage and just grabs Shuton at last stock like game 5.
I
Like
saw that.
Right.
yeah,
I
like-
looked back at that because I was like, how did you have the confidence to do that at once?
yeah, and then like did the witch time too at the same time, like right after. I'm like,
Did it
it's
like ping
strange.
the grab and then he witch timed the move after?
No, it was like a read the like option out of disadvantage, like push him into a advantage state with the throw, and then read a mash out of disadvantage with witch time at like a high percent. When like if he just did nothing, he would have just died or something, like near
Mhm.
dodge and then jump up air or whatever like that. Like
Yeah.
just and like we're used to that because like
'Cause you're
I feel like I feel like
Texas is
it was
freaky.
crazy because I went to Texas and you know Shattuck was like up and coming back then. Like he used to lose to like hockey and like other people like that, you know, when I got there and stuff. And he's come a long way. And like me and Lima like playing him so many times, like it was back then, remember, like you would usually get third and me and Lima would play grands, right? But me and Lima, like Lima was relearning Ultimate and he wasn't playing Ultimate and stuff like that. So we were playing a lot. And it just got like really strange. Like the gameplay was getting crazy because like I brought that over. People like, you know, Anathema, that's like a freak gameplay. Like he plays like a spider.
Yeah.
Like he's trying
It's
to
the
be
people that
as
surround
possible.
you.
Yeah, and like all of us, like me, Shattuck, like Lima, Peeb, Steven, like we all want to we're like pushing the boundaries of our characters. Like Lima's getting out there and like edge guarding you where like you should not. I'm trying to up air
Single
one
hit,
speed
like
drop like whatever into you like and do some crazy thing.
For ledge jumps,
Shattuck
yeah.
is literally perfecting you, tippering everything, like footstooling every single down air. I mean footstool down air every single aerial, and then like it's just getting crazy. It's just getting very strange. Like
Right.
like Peanut, like I don't even have to talk. Like
like
when
you just
when he
watch
does
the
I'm
gameplay
so
and like
excited to analyze his
side B,
sets.
run up on
Insane.
you,
Just
pivot,
insane.
wait up till like it's strange. It's very scary.
Yeah, so I asked your definition to just to like give us a breakdown of what a freak is, because this tournament, of course, at a circus themed tournament, it seemed like the freaks came out to play, and it seems like the circus freaks definitely took the crown.
Yeah.
And if we didn't see top two being two of our own freaks, I mean, I think that's very telling. So I want to hear a little bit about the grands from each of your perspectives. Let's start with Mutace, since you did get second, and then we'll move on to Shattuck.
I'm not kidding you. That grounds like we were getting disturbing. The
It's
interactions
really
were
exciting.
Disturbing.
Really
we were getting
exciting.
this
The wording is so funny, God.
And like the speed we were playing at was like scary, and we were both getting faster and faster. And at some point, I hit your anger point, like, and you got really upset, and then you like ran at me, and the whole pacing changed. I think it was when you pinned my shield from forward, and I usually have to respect it, and I just like jump forward at the jump
Yeah.
out of
you
the
did
air.
that?
Yeah, you pin jumped, and I jumped forward at the hit at the top,
What the heck? I
and
don't
then you
remember
were
that.
like,
I really just watched the set. I don't remember that.
I think
Okay,
that
but
happened
Yeah.
twice. I think there was a pin jump and also a pin kick, and like he delayed his kick, and your fair beat it, and I was like,
oh, okay. Okay, I remember the part where like I pinned out of the corner and you forwarded that. But when I pin your shield and I jump, I don't remember that part. But I mean, I'm gonna assume you did it because it's like
yeah, I forward aired it, and like at that point you like started rushing me. I was like, oh god, he's using his meter. Like I need to defend or something. Like
yeah.
his little
Because you went up
his little,
2-1
1v1.
second set, right?
yeah, and then I
Yeah.
was just like, it was just so strange because I was like, okay, here we are on this big stage, but like, oh my god, like this kid is everywhere. Like I'm at my regionals fighting for my life, and we're playing and all that. That's like fair, but I'm just like, damn, like I get to winners finals, and he's here ready to beat me up. Like what a fitting final boss. I was just like, he just will
Yeah.
not. Oh, I was like, damn, like how can we like? We're just competing, and I was just like, okay, Shattuck is so bright right now. I have to like outshine him, but it's just like he just chases me to end of the world. I could go to like. I'm gonna go to Europe in like a month. I'm like, he's gonna be there somehow. He's gonna beat me there.
You're playing top 8.
I'm gonna beat Gluto somehow, and he's gonna spawn like in Grand. Like, you ready to die? Like,
my turn.
Europe.
oh my
Oh,
God.
we should all take a trip to Europe like at the same time. Have the whole team.
So down.
Go down.
That'd be fun.
I'm gonna be in Europe a lot this year, so I'm definitely.
Yeah, we
gonna
know.
do that. No, you don't.
I do. All right, so
Well,
Shattuck,
for-
how
for-
about,
for tournaments.
your analysis of the freaky grands? that went
Okay.
on?
So briefly talking about like winners finals, I feel like that set like the shift between winners finals and grands in both of our like points of view were really drastic. I feel so. I feel like a lot of stuff went well for me in winners finals, like especially like at the last game. Like I got like a pin, and I was like, oh, cool. And grands happened, and I feel like game one it was like going good, and then it wasn't going good, and then he was playing like really, really, really weird. And I just started hitting his shield, and he started parrying everything, and he started dodging around everything. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this advantage state part, and it was just like, no, you're not. And then he started grabbing me. I couldn't jump over him anymore. I was like, oh, thanks to MVD for that one, by the way.
Sorry.
And I was just like,
Sorry.
um,
No, so
and-
not to cut you off, but before Grand started, I went to talk to Mutace about it, and I was like, "How do you feel?" And exactly what Shattuck was just saying was everything Mutace was complaining about Shattuck doing, like parrying everything, like double parrying back airs and punishing and doing all these crazy things and never letting have the ability to breathe or play the game. And I was like, why don't you just grab him more? Because if he's parrying everything, he's ready to parry. So just like tomahawk in his face and grab, just float cancel, grab. And then he's gonna start jumping around you and just start hitting his jumps. And he was like, okay, I'll try. I was like, okay.
Succeeded.
Succeeded for like so long.
If
and
anyone
then at
knows
some
you,
point-
you know that's exactly what he said and how he sounded. Like,
It was more like,
Yeah.
okay.
and
Like,
like
I guess.
and like things were working, and I was just like, okay, I'm obviously getting grabbed a lot, like, but at some point I was like, okay, I don't really care, I guess. Like you can have the grab, I guess. But things were like even like I think game four grands, like you were like three stalking me, and it was looking really embarrassing. And then like it becomes like last stock, like last hit kinda. And like you low key should have lost because you like up B through the ledge, and then I just messed up my like edge guard or like edge guard because like you like barely with the
Yeah, I
ledge.
remember that.
And then I was like, oh, that sucks. But I was like slowly making these adjustments. But like, even though, like, after all, I was like, okay, I feel like I'm low key doing the same things. It's okay, I guess. We start like game one of grands, and then I like still get like obliterated, but still make it to last stock. And that's like how you show, that's how like it shows like I'm playing slow, but then each game, like I'm somehow getting faster. But like, I don't know. I'm just like not giving you like the last hit, you know. It's like I kind of do against everybody. Like I just won't give you like the last hit for like super free. Like you need to like get like something like a real read or something. And then game two, like I like turn it up, I guess, and like I get like a turnip combo and like something like really goes well for me.
Oh, I remember that combo.
I was
Yeah,
like the fair turnip near turnip something
Yeah.
up
Guys,
there. I was
sorry,
like,
hold on. Gotta
whoa.
go.
He
BRB.
could have killed.
okay,
Continue.
BRB.
Oh.
Yeah, and then game three happens, and I can't remember. Yeah, okay. So I like started like pinning your shield a lot, and I was like conceding with that, and just not recognizing fast enough. Like, oh, it's like really really awful because I know how pinning people's shield is like really bad, but it was working so well this tournament and like actually really recent tournaments. So I was really motivated to like do that more and more, but you were just punching it more and more, and then like you exploded me for it like multiple times, and like eventually I was like, okay, I need to like not do this. Like maybe let's not do that. And then game four, it's like last stock. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I think like it barely got better, I guess. And then game five, like the beginning is really, really good for me. I like parry like two back airs. I'm like, oh, I'm feeling it, I guess. My the advantage thing in the beginning is like really perfect. Like I was like, okay, you didn't even do anything like necessarily wrong there. I was just ready for you to do this and that, and like you didn't have to do anything. Like you didn't really have an option. And then you SD, but like the SD was like because I saw you miss the forwarder after you double jumped, and then you did float down there to like to catch like whatever was after, and then I caught you with nair, and I was like, okay, wait, you're off stage. You might do air dodge, so let me not hit you or like swing, and then you air dodge. And I'm like, oh, I think he's just dead, and you died, and then I was like, okay. I don't know if I like saw the camera after he died. People were saying I was popping off, but like what was actually happening was I was like stomping the ground because I was trying to like hype myself up because I was like, okay, well now if I lose this, this will be really bad.
Like lock in. Like, we gotta
yeah.
finish it now.
Um,
Like,
I
I was
don't know
on
how
the-
that fast fell though, because I just hit air dodge and it just like fast fell. Because usually if I just
Did
air dodge
it?
there, I could it fast. That was a fast fall air dodge.
Really? I
Yeah.
thought you felt faster than that, but that's weird.
That was my
Um,
fast fall.
I guess so because you're like above the stage still, and you like
Yeah,
still
if I
died,
neutral air dodge there,
yeah.
I would
How
live.
did you
But I
even
don't.
do that? Because you're like
I
in hit zone where you're not, or like
don't
I don't even know.
I pulled back from off the stage, but I'm thinking when I pulled back to like I pulled right, I might have hit right and down,
Mm,
and that's
it
what
was just like
happened.
ever so
how,
slightly, just enough.
Yeah, and
and
then
then like I like got like a lot of percent, and you fought back, but it was just like,
I
bruh.
just do the
And well, then I went first major. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I guess you made it like really hard, but in the end, it was just the cringiest end ever. But I was like, okay, first major. I still gotta be happy because
Oh yeah, you have.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, you like you beat Mia there too. I was just like, whatever. You
Mhm.
honestly worked harder
Yeah,
for me
that was
than me.
like
You deserved it. You
yeah,
earned it. And at the end of the day, we got a stride W, our first of
yeah,
many.
for a second.
which is
Yeah.
awesome, by the way, because usually the whole like, oh, I just got picked up by a team, and the stereotype
A
is like,
sponsor curse?
yeah, sponsor curse, but like
Not real.
y'all were at Genesis, and like y'all all did good, and at the worst did fine, and then
Mhm.
at Cirque we all did really good, and at the worst did fine. So it's like it hasn't been a curse so far, which is pretty cool.
We're
Well,
all
like,
going to get 97 this week.
Like honestly,
Okay, don't
Ethan,
say that. I have a
honestly,
game
like,
watch in my path this weekend. I probably won't get
being like weird, like I was like, okay, you did this, so I'm gonna match you. So like you beat the Buzz, and I was down 0-2. I was like, no, I'm gonna match him. I'm gonna make sure Grams is us at least. Like one of us is winning this tournament. I'm not even gonna give the Buzz this chance. So then I was
Yeah.
like,
Thank you.
I like
Because I was trying to like prepare while also looking at what was happening. I saw you go down 2-0, and I was like, oh, that's like that. And then you won. I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. That makes
That was
sense.
just a warm up.
5
Uh,
reverse zeros is crazy.
Actually,
Five
insane.
reverse
So many games. You played so many games for no reason. You just wanted to.
No, but yeah, going back to like the free conversation, like I could feel it. Like I could feel like what I'm just pairing these things for no reason, or like not for no reason, like but like who does that? Like who in the right mind? And I like Z caught like some stuff like nobody would ever catch in their life, and like he was going for all these grabs and like the way we were just moving in general, and like it's
you were
just
pairing on off timings. I'm using my backyard or hard box shift, and usually that's like an only a you thing too. I'm like no.
All right. So let's move on to one of our last topics. And this I want more from Wizzy and Mudace for your perspective and opinions. Just thoughts on the team so far. You know, we did some content stuff, you know, having like the whole squad at a tournament for the first time. Like how did that feel, like having the jersey on with everybody and just hanging out with everybody, having the conversation, having the resources that we all are to each other. What was that like, Wizzy?
So for me, like I said, I had a lot of fun this weekend for a plethora of reasons. Like just hanging out with a team again. This is not my first time I've had a team like this, but it's been a long time. I used to have like a pretty like well put together team with MBG a few years back. As soon like literally in the first month and a half of Ultimate. I think I joined them on the second month of the game, and you know I used to hang out with them all the time. We would play all the time, stream, go to tournaments, stuff like that. And like I joined them in January 2019 and then left them in January 2021. So I haven't experienced that until I signed with Stride this like year. And just like going back to that, but it being like 2 times better is like insane to me. Like I didn't realize how much I missed working with the team, especially when all the people on my team are friends and especially friends for years. Like I've been friends with some of y'all for years. The only person I haven't known for that long is like Shattuck. Like we've been friends for a lot less longer than I have with like Eric, Jesse, like Mudace. Like I've known all of them since before Ultimate even came out. But then I became like friends, like better friends with like all of y'all around like the Ultimate time frame because I was able to go to tournaments more after I graduated high school.
Mhm.
But like being with the team, like I think this team is amazing. Like I feel like this team is a lot more than just, hey, we are Smash players and that's it. We do not speak to each other outside of that. Like I feel like a lot of us have an actual bond with each other, which is super cool. Not all teams get to have that. Like, oh, this person helps me with this, or this person's actually a good friend of mine, or this person's literally my best friend, like Eric and Jesse, or like these are people I've interacted with for years. Like it's just like super comfortable. Like I was like, it's not like I was joining a team with people that I wasn't comfortable with. Like even though like I don't like for example, me and Munis aren't like best friends or anything, but we've known each other for years and like we speak to each other like pretty much whenever we see each other at events. And like gradually got closer and like just being on the same team now, it's like, oh cool. Like this is a person that
We were teaming before anyways and stuff.
yeah, literally like we were already teaming, like we talk a fair amount. Like, you know, sometimes I just like check on you, just be like, hey, you doing all right? Like just because like why not? Like I just like check on people and this feels good to have like a team again. And I genuinely am really excited. I know we're not all gonna be at the same tournaments all the time, but the fact that it can happen is super cool to me. Like my favorite part of last weekend, obviously just because like I didn't really do anything in bracket. I just existed and lost to good players and beat nobody. But like my favorite part of the tournament, yeah, it happens sometimes. My favorite part of the weekend was like the content, like the pictures, the vlogs, the team dinners, the just chatting with each other, the cheering for each other, the supporting, like all of that. I like I said, I know I said it already, but I did not know how much I missed that stuff until it came back. Like when I joined Stride, I was like, wow, like there really was just like emptiness there. Like for a long time, I just didn't even realize that. Like because I would just, you know, like I have plenty of friends at tournaments whenever I go, but like having like an actual team and like friends is something different. And now when I have a team and friends pushed together, like it's in one thing, it's like wow, I have nothing to complain about. Like I'm enjoying myself a lot.
It's
like,
special. It's very special.
it feels good. Like the connection with this team will only get better. I'm genuinely really excited to do more content, whether it be vlogs, photo shoots. I'm more excited to go to like tournaments with you guys. Like I'm excited to keep cheering for my teammates. I hope that we all like do good. Like I want Stride to stick around for till the end of time. Like I also side note, like I love this jersey. Like this jersey is like actually really, really nice. It feels good. I love the design.
Very
I'm actually
comfy.
gonna extremely comfy. Yes. Thank
I
you.
said comfy.
Oh, whoa, that too.
I love
I thought that's what you
That's
said.
crazy.
I thought that's what you said. They're both a good thing.
Fine. That's fine. That's okay.
I love the one
But
that's coming.
yeah,
if I
You
can say
said
that.
comfy with an accent on it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I have been on like MVG wasn't my like last team I've been on. Like I've been on a few teams after MVG, but like most of them were just like me or it was extremely disorganized, like a team I will not name and is not around anymore. And if you know, you know. But
Right.
like it, yeah. But like, but like being on this team, it's genuinely like a breath of fresh air, and like I'm really happy with how this team formed. I think Jesse is a genius, almost a goddamn
what?
genius.
A what? What did you call it?
Genius.
Hey, I'm sorry.
I feel like he's a goddamn genius because like Cameron originally told me he's like, yeah, Jesse was like giving me recommendations, and I was like, I thought about it for a little bit, and I was like, huh, me and AC Sam Shattuck, and I thought about it for a little bit, and I was like, you know what, that combination could actually end up being pretty good. I was like, obviously I'm gonna have to see it in action because like I was just thinking to myself like random night in my room, and then just like as the days went on, and then like seeing y'all like even though I wasn't there like at Genesis, just like seeing the way like y'all were like cooperating, like cheering each other on, being there for each other, and just like seeing how good everyone was doing, I was like, yeah, this was a good idea. Jesse is very smart. Like,
Genius.
Thanks.
and
All right. So now,
and
I don't
also
want
on
to
the-
cut you off, but you got to save some of the good words from you, Dace. You know, you can't just.
my fault. Last part, I think we all meshed super well with content. Like,
Oh yeah,
super good,
we just spent the like most of the weekend laughing, and that's
which is perfect.
obviously
I'm
obviously
still
sign.
gonna
a good
miss like
sign
the
of the
first
future.
day because I was at the tournament, but I'm assuming that was a fun time, like in the hotel,
Oh yeah,
getting the content.
we won't talk about the last night at the hotel, but anyway, me,
Oh,
Dace,
that,
you're. How do you feel about Stride so far? You know, you weren't here in the last time for the podcast, so we couldn't really dig into your mind about it. But how do you feel like being on a team of this caliber with these players, what we're doing, what we have planned, and all that stuff that you experienced so far?
I'm excited for everything we have planned and stuff, and I really enjoy that. I don't know. I've never been on like a like when I'm on my team. Like I don't think I've usually like done like team activities before and stuff
Right.
like that. It was always like, oh, we'll do that, but it just never happened. But it's actually happened. So I appreciate that things are actually moving. So it's
Mhm.
nice to feel like, and you know, our managers are very like accessible and like everything like that, right? So that's great. I don't know how I feel about like the camaraderie part because I still feel like Smash is like a very like obviously like we're playing 1v1s at the end of the day.
Right.
And we were all been friends. I know all of you, and I've all wanted you guys to do well anyway, so I don't really feel too different about it, right? Like I was looking out for you guys anyways. It's like not like I'm gonna be there because I'm like trying to do my own bracket thing. That's how I
Right.
kind of went around too. Like Eric saw that. I was just like running around. Right?
Yeah, you do your own thing, which like again totally makes sense because at the end of the day, it's still your tournament, it's your job. So like doing that makes sense. But yeah, like you were still there when you need like if you needed us to talk or you wanted to like hang out, like we would be available and we would all be available for each other. Y'all were just
I was
focusing on the
watching
tournament because you got made it so far.
Yeah, I was watching and I looked out for you guys and stuff like that. But I always do that anyway. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
and me and Shattuck, like I walked up to you at the chair and you know I asked you a few questions and you asked me a question real like that. It's just a little exchange of information. I'm always open to give you guys ideas if you need anything. Jesse gave me ideas for even finals and stuff like that. And
That's what I think the
things like
strongest
that.
thing about this group of players is that we all see the game in a different lens. We all think differently about what's important about the game. So if we ever are lacking something somewhere for whatever opponent it might be, like one of us might just have some crazy answer that we don't think of, and it's like, oh, that's really interesting, because your Smash brain is like this and mine is like that. So I would have never thought about that. So having like this variety of players, like we have like the super technical people, we have the super combo heavy players, we have people who just want to camp, we have people who just want to go in. A lot of things all mesh in one, and they can all help at some point during the bracket. So that's super cool.
add on to that too, like when you said like
Mhm.
one of us might have like this really crazy response, it could also be exactly vice versa. Like the answer could be so simple and then like it probably just won't be apparent to you, but then one of us can just be like, oh, for this situation, the answer to that is this. And it's just like, oh,
Yeah, like we did
But,
literally
like-
just grab, and he's like,
yeah,
oh,
no,
damn.
like, oh,
Jesse's, Jesse's
layer.
answer always solves me. I remember when you were like, "Oh, just up smash him." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, so true.
So, sometimes like not everything has to be complicated. For a lot of people that I give like medical lessons to, like one of the pieces of advice I give them sometimes is like not every single situation has to be over complicated or like super complex. Like sometimes the answer is just literally just do this.
Yep.
And it just sometimes it just takes someone else to point that out for you.
I wouldn't say just doing that, but it's about adding it to the everything on top of what you're doing. Like
That too,
Jason
yeah.
tells me to do, it's not like just do that, but it's supplementary to what I'm doing already.
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah.
knows I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do already. But yeah.
Unless it's like literally such a straightforward answer, like, hey, how do I punish this move? I'm just like, oh, you do this. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah, it's something like super simple.
Yeah. So
But,
we are getting close to the end of the time. I know that 4 of us have collision this weekend. Bracket,
Good luck.
I don't think it's final just yet.
it's been
But
changing a lot.
yeah. So it's been flip flopping a bunch. We'll see when brackets are final how y'all feel about it. But I feel like for those who are going, I feel like we all either did really well or fine enough this past weekend that I feel like going into this weekend, we all have a certain level of confidence in our play and in each other that we're probably just looking forward to doing well. Am I mistaken at all?
You are not mistaken.
No.
Like in tournaments, like or like in months where I have like the one tournament weekend after weekend, I usually continue like the level of play that I played like the previous weekend and like add upon it.
Mhm.
So because usually I'll go to a major and like I'll at the end of it I'm like, oh yeah, I learned or remembered all of this stuff. I'm gonna go back home and then go to the next major like in a month and what did I learn again? And so that doesn't happen like when it's like right after each other, like consecutively. So I'm really looking forward to like collision and the brackets probably changed from what I saw recently, but whatever I saw like recently was pretty good for me. But
Mhm.
we'll see if they change or not. But I'm sure either way I'll be ready. Like I've heard a lot for these brackets, so I'm looking forward to it overall. And obviously everybody's gonna like basically everyone's gonna be there, so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I was treating Cirque like my collision warm up actually. So
So damn good warm up.
Yeah, for real.
I guess I'm warm enough. So we'll see what happens.
I was also treating Cirque as a bit of a warm because I didn't go to anything from LNBM up to Cirque because I was just doing other stuff. So
True. And you have the
And-
perk of the major being in your region ish. So
yeah, I just kind of bust. There's like 2.5 hours.
yeah, it's not bad at all.
Something that's good for is like even though like I did pretty good at LNBM, like I didn't do like anything at Cirque, but I do even though I was really upset, I always appreciate when I'm like, okay, I lost to really good players and I didn't lose to anyone that I wasn't supposed to lose to. So like I will take that for what it's worth. Like
Right.
it means I played okay for how long I didn't play the game from like LNBM up to now. I do like want to play the game a lot more this year, just specifically in that month, like for some more personal reasons. I wasn't for good reasons though, like not like bad things. But I have a lot more time to play the game. And like for example, I'm going to Muz's house the day before Collision, and we're going to play for a while before like Collision actually starts. So
Sometimes one day can make all the difference.
yeah, sometimes I just need to. Dude, I'm not even gonna lie. Like sometimes, like like I haven't been playing the game like super seriously the past few years, and sometimes I just sit down. The rare times I actually have sat down and played the game, like with practice, and I play for a few matches, and it just like clicks in my head. Like I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm used to this. Like this is what I should be doing. Like I get reminded I'm a top player every now and then. Like when I actually play good in the game. Like every there's like during like the 2021 to like 2023, like every like 6 or 7 months, I would just have this really random good tournament performance. Like at LTC, I was really only there because I was just on a vacation visiting one of my best friends, and I was just like, "Do you want to go to this thing with me?" It's like right there. And,
I met your friend.
yeah, and then I was just decided to. And that was like in the 6 month to 7 month time frame. I was like, "Oh, this is my tournament performance for the rest of the year." like it just kind of, and I get reminded. I'm like, things like that always remind me, like, "Oh, okay, so I do still have the capability to do it. I just have to actually put effort in more. Like,
You just
way
gotta
more
do
effort
it.
in. Yeah, I have to put way more effort in and not just hope I wake up and play good one day." So
That's
Fair
a
enough.
crazy
So crazy concept. Just play, do it, and do your thing. Because we all know we can. Just like I told Esam, just remember who you are. There's sometimes we all just have to remember who we are, and
We're the
we're all
goats.
better than most people that play this game.
True.
And if you don't think so, too bad.
Or beat us.
Too bad or beat us, but not me because Snake's easy to fight. Anyway, if you guys like, shut up. If you guys like this kind of content and the direction that Stride is going in, please consider signing up for Stride.gg. If the more people sign up for that, the more cool things we'll be able to do, whether it be podcasts or vlogs. Like we have our Genesis vlog that we posted out recently. We are going to have another vlog-ish type thing for Cirque coming out. Hopefully within the next couple of days. We'll probably have another one for Collision after this upcoming weekend. We will also be boothing at Collision this weekend, so visit our booth.
Cool.
I don't know what we're gonna do just yet. We might have like a 1v1 station or
Surprise.
like some prizes or something. If I spoiled it, oopsie.
Accidental spoil when you don't
But
know.
yeah, we're gonna have a booth. It's gonna be cool. If you
Oh,
like our jerseys, I
might.
think we might have some on sale. Don't quote me, but maybe I'm spoiling too much. Cameron hasn't looked at me with an angry face yet. So yeah, stride.gg, please sign up, watch our content. Any amount of support helps the team a long way. So yeah, any closing statements from any of y'all that you want to put out into the universe?
And we'll just add on to what you were saying in chat before any of us go. Like literally all of us stream on Twitch. So if you want to watch us solo, I believe all of our Twitch ads are about the same. Yeah, I think we're all pretty much the
mine's
same.
just without the underscore, but yeah.
Yeah, like you'll find it if you type in the name. So if you're
You
interested,
can find
in
it from the
this-
Twitters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
So if you're interested in like also seeing like solo stuff along with the team stuff, make sure you follow this Twitch channel, the Stride one that we're on right now, because we're going to use this more. And then if you want to keep up with our solo things, just make sure you follow like our specific Twitch channels because like we stream like some of us are live like every week. So there you go.
Keep
Yeah,
trying.
sounds
Aaron.
good.
You'll
Good
Uh,
luck, everyone, at Collision.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll see you eventually
Catch us all
upon the
there.
horizon. But yeah, this was episode 2 of The Den. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good night, everybody.
Later.
Guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Nope.